Hello, good day everyone. I am Malabanan Alyssa, a counselor student at Tanawan Institute. Today, I am excited to discuss to you about rule-based expert system, in which I present to you what is rule-based expert system, what is knowledge, the main players in the development team, the structure of rule-based expert system, and lastly, the basic structure of rule-based expert system. So, what is rule-based expert system? As we can see, there's 3 arrows in my presentation. The first is pointed on rule-based, which define expert knowledge is encoded into the system via a set of rules. Second arrow pointed at expert, which means someone with deep knowledge and experience in a particular domain. Last, which is pointed into the system, that means a software program. But what is rule-based expert system defined? A rule-based expert system is the simplest form of artificial intelligence and uses prescribed knowledge-based rules to solve a problem. The aim of the expert system is to take knowledge from a human expert and convert this into a number of hard-coded rules to apply to the input data. In their most basic form, the rules are commonly conditional statements. If A, then do X. Else if B, then do Y. This system should be applied to smaller problems. And remember, as the more complex a system is, the more rules that are required to describe it, and thus increase difficulty to model for all possible outcomes. The knowledge of rule-based expert system. So, what is knowledge according to rule-based expert system? Knowledge is a theoretical or practical understanding of a subject or a domain. Knowledge is also the sum of what is currently known, and apparently knowledge is power. Those who possess knowledge are called experts. Also, knowledge is separated from its processing. The knowledge based at the inference engine are split up. A conventional program is a mixture of knowledge and the control structure, which I discuss to you later what is it. To process this knowledge, remember, anyone can be considered a domain expert if he or she first has deep knowledge of both facts and rules, and the second has a strong practical experience in a particular domain. As demonstrated in the pyramid in the presentation, the third one is the knowledge that's certain for the rules about using information. Next, there are 5 members of the expert system development team. The first one is the project manager, the leader of the expert system development team that has a responsible for keeping the project on track. Domain expert is a knowledgeable and skilled person capable of solving problems in a specific area or domain. Knowledge engineer is someone who is capable of designing, building, and testing an expert system. The programmer is the person responsible for the actual programming, describing the domain knowledge in terms that a computer can understand. Lastly, the end user, often called as the user, a person who uses the expert system when it's developed. So there are the 5 members of the development team of the rule-based expert system. Next is facts about the structure of a rule-based expert system. In the early 70s, Newell and Simon from Carnegie Mellon University proposed a production system model, the foundation of the modern rule-based expert systems. The production model is based on the idea that humans solve problems by applying their knowledge, expressed as production rules, to a given problem represented by problem-specific information. The production rules are stored in the long-term memory, and the problem-specific information or facts in the short-term memory. Here is the basic structure of rule-based expert system. As illustrated in the picture, there's the knowledge base that has a rule if and then. Database that both of their arrow pointed at the inference engine down to explanation facilities and the user interface receipt of the user. knowledge base is that contains the domain knowledge useful for problem solving, while database includes a set of facts used to match against the if or the condition parts of rules stored in the knowledge base, while inference engine carries out the reasoning whereby the expert system reaches a solution, the explanation facilities which enable the user to ask the expert system how a particular conclusion is reached and why a specific fact is needed. Last is the user interface, the means of communication between a user seeking a solution to the problem and an expert system. Did you know, or do I know? Can an expert system make mistakes? Even a brilliant expert is only a human, and thus can make mistakes. This suggests that an expert system built to perform at a human expert level also should be allowed to make mistakes. But we still trust experts, even we recognize that their judgments are sometimes wrong. Likewise, at least in most cases, we can rely on solutions provided by expert systems. But mistakes are possible and we should be aware of this. Rule-based expert system examples. Remember and note that the human mental process is internal and it is too complex to be represented as an algorithm. However, most experts are capable of expressing their knowledge in the form of production rules for problem solving. Example Rule 1. If patient temperature less than 37, then patient has fever. Rule 2. If patient has cough, then patient has lung infection. Rule 3. If patient has fever and has lung infection, then patient might have COVID-19 virus. Rule 4. If the traffic light is red, then the action is stopped. And that's all. Thank you for listening.